News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Beginning today, the country's COVID-19 vaccination drive will accommodate the A4 priority group. In a Radyo 5 interview, Health Undersecretary Mirna Cabutahe enumerated those who are now eligible to get the COVID-19 shots. Under the A4 group are private employees, government staff, informal sector workers, and those who are self-employed. But Cabutahe also clarified that the rollout of vaccines for the A4 group will come in phases.
Hindi po nationwide, Sir Ted. Phasing lang yan. So mag-mini-rollout po tayo sa NCR plus 8. Tapos pag mas marami ng supply, tsaka po tayo mag-nationwide. Kulang pa po yung supply ng bakuna.
Meanwhile, vaccines procured by the private sector will no longer have to be shared with the government. Recall that under the tripartite vaccine deals, private firms will have to donate a percentage of their doses to the government.
The IATF and our NITAG have agreed na kung ano yung nabili ng private sector, gamitin nila. Hindi na ho makikialam ang gobyerno. Kanino bibigyan, iniiwan na po sa kanila. Hindi na ho kukuha ang gobyerno ng alokasyon nila.
The COVID-19 burden is slowly shifting from Metro Manila to other regions in the country. Mindanao, for one, accounted for 25% of the average daily cases in the country last week. Gemma Vansenio with the details.
Over the past week, average daily COVID-19 cases in the country climbed to 6,000. 25% of these infections were recorded in Mindanao alone. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said this represents a shift in the COVID-19 burden among provinces.
Na-outpace na po ng Mindanao ang National Capital Region kung saan ang Mindanao contributes to about 25% of the cases right now. So nakikita ho natin, nag-shift po yung mga burden of cases sa ibang lugar. Aside from Mindanao, we are also seeing rise in cases in some parts of the Visayas region, also in some parts of the northern Luzon.
The agency said a multitude of factors may have led to the recent surge in Mindanao.
A multitude of factors kung bakit po tumataas ang mga kaso. And number one, of course, there would be mobility of the population. Pangalawa, yung compliance po natin sa health protocols. Pangatlo, yun pong response po ng ating gobyerno, both national and local. Baka meron ho tayo nakikita mga deficiencies in detection, isolation, and treatment. And the last, and I think it's very important, yun pong epekto ng variant.
Aside from rising cases, the death toll in Mindanao and other regions outside Metro Manila is also starting to climb.
Yun pong ating cases and even deaths, nag-shift po siya. Makikita ho natin na bagamat dito sa National Capital Region, meron pa rin hong mga naitatalang namamatay because of COVID-19, but we are seeing a rise in the number of deaths in other regions of the country as well.
Because of the worsening situation, the stricter Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine or MECQ has been re-implemented in Davao City. COVID-19 ICUs are filled to the brim with patients. For one, the occupancy rate at the Philippines Medical Center has reached 98%. The facility now needs more nurses and doctors to attend to the growing number of patients.
In general, understaffed pa rin kami. In fact, sumulat ako kay Secretary Galvez kasi nagpadala sa dati ng 25 nurses and doctors to augment our staffing. Nagsulat din ako sa Bureau of Fire dito sa Davao. Sana mabalik din nila ang yung 10 nurses.
Motorists in the city have to bear with long queues as stricter checkpoints have been set up. Some establishments are also under lockdown due to high COVID-19 transmission among workers. Though some businessmen are against the move to place Davao City under MECQ, they are left with no other choice.
Wala kaming magawa nito, ma'am, kasi talagang dapat susunod kami sa gobyerno. Kasi kapag hindi kami sumunod, sasara naman yung business namin. Luging-lugi po. Ang hirap. Sobrang hirap.
In April, COVID-19 cases decreased by almost 40% in Davao City. However, by mid-May, cases started to slowly increase anew. Just this weekend, Davao City recorded over 2,300 active cases. For News 5, Gem Avancenia, we are One News.
A barangay chairman in Quezon City insists that a wedding in the area did not cause the increase in new COVID-19 infections. This comes after the official received a show cause order from the city government. Gary De Leon with the report.
Alan Franza, barangay chairman of Matandang Balara, has responded to the show cause order filed against him by the Quezon City government. But he clarified that the city government may have mistaken what caused the rise in COVID-19 infection in the barangay. At least 72 residents tested positive for the virus after attending a wedding along Luzon Avenue last May 15. Franz insisted that even as early as May 9, 5 men gathered for a drinking session. Among them was the driver assigned during the wedding. The barangay captain added that wedding guests had a private gathering in their home, but barangay official immediately called off the party when they learned about it.
Katunayan po, nung nagpaalam sila rito ay hindi po natin sila pinayagan. Pero still, ininsist nila na ituloy na hindi nalalaman ng barangay. Kasi yung lugar nila ay napakaliit, isa lang yung daanan nila, private compound sila doon, no? At saka dikit-dikit ang mga bahay.
Charges were also filed against the recently wed couple, but Franza lamented that the local government may only be pointing their fingers at them to give the impression that they are addressing the pandemic. He took a swipe at the city official, asking why City Councilor Franz Marin got scot-free despite a supposed protocol breach in his charity event.
Tungkol naman dun sa pagkakasweldo po, iniiwan ko na po yan sa QCPD, no? For them to explain sa publiko. Ang sa akin lang naman po, ang importante sa akin ngayon, ma-address yung problema po na kinakaharap ng aking barangay sa ngayon.
Meanwhile, Homeowners Association President Don Braganza expressed concern over charges filed against him on alleged violation of health protocols. Braganza said he had already been ticketed and paid penalties before the city government.
Ko po inaasahan na ganito po ang mga mangyayari po. Medyo nagulat po ako doon kasi doon sa binayaran ko po ay may nakalagay po doon na okay na po ako.
Braganza said he is ready to face the charges but hope that issue will not be politicized. Reporting for News 5, I'm Gary De Leon. We are One News.
Here are other headlines we are keeping our eyes on. The death toll due to tropical depression Dante has climbed to 11. The NDRRMC reports that at least 2 individuals remain missing, while 3 were injured. Over 29,000 families or 122,000 people were directly affected by Dante. Some 800 people are still in evacuation centers. Around 500,000 national ID cards have been newly printed by the Bangko Sentral and are ready to be shipped to registrants nationwide. So far, nearly 100,000 have received their IDs since the PSA started delivering the cards on May 1. At least 70 million Filipinos are expected to be registered on their PhilSys by the end of the year. And Enchanted Kingdom reopened on Sunday after a 2-month closure due to imposed stricter COVID-19 lockdowns in Laguna. The theme park will operate at only 30% capacity, which means they will only allow 5,000 visitors per day. The park's indoor attractions are currently not allowed to operate. Filipino golfer Yuka Saso has been crowned the 76th champion of the U.S. Women's Open, putting the Philippines on the world's golfing map. Saso outlasted Japan's Nasa Hataoka in sudden death playoff in the final round of the Olympic Club in San Francisco. She had a birdie putt in the 9th hole to take her first ever LPGA title. Saso is the first Filipino to win a major golf tournament and is tied for the youngest woman golf player ever to do so. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com. So you can stream One News anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.